People from all over the place, thanks for watching. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, depending where you're watching or listening to this transmission. Big hug to everyone out there. It is I, Mike Martins, and I'm bringing you another Rants and Lifestyle. I keep getting asked for Rants and Lifestyle, and yes, we have open lines at 1-250-800-1489. Don't forget to call in if you want to talk, maybe get something off your chest. Anything that's going on, Rants and Lifestyle, housing crisis, whatever is going on. The number is 1-250-800-1489. And today is October 31st, 2017. Happy Halloween, everybody. Happy Halloween. Hope everyone has a very safe and happy Halloween. And speaking of Halloween, I actually wanted to read an article for you guys a few weeks back. I'm going to pull it up here. Where cities are banning Halloween. See if I can find the article here. I don't know what that is. CNN Money, because it's a pop-up. I don't know if I'm losing internet connection here or what's going on, but I want to see if they're looking to ban Halloween, and I don't know why. And here we go, Halloween banned. So you got elementary schools banning Halloween. I mean, why would they ban anything like that? The Halloween is such a... I guess because it's spiritual. I guess it branches off. You know what I'm saying. It's a spiritual thing. It's fun. But I got some really very serious stories I want to get into, especially with Catalonia. What's happening in Catalonia is very important. And... it's very important because this is the true test of democracy, if democracy works, if democracy is even making any sense. Or is democracy just a nice word given to make people feel protected? You know what I'm saying? Oh, wow, I already got so many people viewing already, and I already got a comment in the comment section. The comment section is open if you want to leave a comment. Don't be scared. All lines are open, and it's 1-250-800-1489. And I got Mike, do you like Portugal? As good as a retirement place? Porto? No. If I was going to retire in Portugal, I would retire maybe just in the Algarve. And I'll show you guys in images what the Algarve looks like. Algarve is like Europe's Florida. This is what the Algarve looks like. I'll give you guys a... It's very beautiful. It's very tropical. It's got some really good weather all year round. It's great for mountain biking, hiking, skiing. Great place to propose to your girlfriend. Look at that, people. Single men take your girlfriends to Portugal. Propose in there. That's amazing. Take a look at that. Yeah, no, Portugal is Europe's hidden gem. That's my answer to you. 88 Mark 86. Portugal is definitely a country that's got a lot of hidden treasures. Lots of untouched places. And a lot going for it. A couple of friends just came back, and I got a couple of friends going out. And they feel very safe there, which is really good. It's good to find a country that you like that's safe and stuff to go to and visit. Anyways, so that answers that question. And for people listening on podcast, thanks for listening and tuning into the show. So let's start off with a quick plug here. This is my Living the Dream series. Season 1, Episode 2 is out if you haven't seen it. Living the Dream. This is packing and choosing colors for the new house. You have no... and you have no idea how... no idea how much work it is to pack and move, and especially when you collect stuff over a decade. And a lot of stuff you don't want to throw away because you're a hoarder. Everyone's got a little bit of hoarding inside them, you know? But this is stuff we need, like camera systems and stuff. Don't forget to watch Episode 2, Season 1 of this series, Living the Dream. And let's kick off with Catalonia. We need to talk about Catalonia because... this makes or breaks. Makes or breaks democracy. Plain and simple. No questions asked. Why? Because Catalonia and the rich break away from the poor. So let me show you a map here where Catalonia is located. It's northeast part of Spain on the border of France. And I have never been to that specific region. I have not been there. The capital of Catalonia is Barcelona. and I have not been to that region yet. I've been to like these parts along the Castile Leon area and along the border. I haven't been to Galicia, but I've been along the border from Portugal driving over. Now, Catalonia, if you just tune in or you've been under a rock for the last 2 years or the last 5 years, Catalonia has been under a lot of pressure. It's been basically one of the richer states in Spain, and they are fighting for independence. They want their sovereignty. They want their own flag, their own national anthem, their own language. They want their own everything. And I've been watching Spanish Parliament really closely, and they're firing all the Catalonian ministers and calling them traitors. You know, and Brian White is tuned in, and he's saying they took away their autonomy. Yeah, and it's not good. I don't know what's gonna happen from this because they don't want this to happen. Like the U.S. does not want this to happen. The EU does not want this to happen. None of the countries want this to happen, and the U.S. is stating, "Oh, we won't recognize it as an independent country," but it's got the size, it's got the population, it's got the GDP, it's got the you know the organization to be its own country. It probably has its own police, military, everything too, and it's got its own ports for importing, exporting. Let's check the map again just to make sure. Yeah, it's got its own ports. It's got everything. So the problem is why a lot of countries won't recognize this as an independent country is because other countries will want to break apart follow up. They want to break apart. A lot of countries don't want to see countries like this break apart because then you're going to start seeing Italy break apart into three different parts. You're going to see the French break away from the Canadians, from the rest of Canada. You're going to see other countries, like you're going to see what else? There's lots of other countries that I've been watching. You got Kazakhstan that's become its own independent sovereignty, and they're working on building their own country. So here's what Brian White is saying. My question is, if the EU does nothing and says, "Hey, it's not our issue. Our job is to tell another country what to do," then why is the EU telling Poland and Hungary to take on refugees at gunpoint? Yeah, that's a really good question. That's, you know, if it's anything to help the independent state, like the independent small guy, it's usually not in favor of the deep state. There's always a deep state somewhere that's always pushing the buttons, in control of what's going on out there, right? Um, so now you got this problem now. You got this problem. Giggles, Norbert?
No, the kids are sleeping.
I'm live.
Yeah, but just so you can hear.
Okay, my wife is here.
I'm just gonna pick up for you.
Okay. And so the kids are asleep. Anyways, so what I wanted to say to you guys is this is not good. Catalonia is has the right to. Does the Catalonia? The first question you have to ask is: Catalonia have the first? Does it have a right to break away? That's question number one. It's question number one. Does Catalonia have a right to break free? Okay, in the Constitution, I'm pretty sure every state in Spain has a right to break free, like Castile, Aragon Empire, Castilla de Leon, Castilla, Asturias, Valencian Empire. I think all these different little states do have a right to break apart. Same thing what's happening in Italy. You got a lot of parts of Italy that want to break apart, right? The country was formally formed after 1945 with the end of World War II, and the country was unified and built as one country. And it hasn't worked out from the north and the south, and the south and the north. The north says it's more rich. The south said it's leeching off the north. Sicily is all teed off. And then you got now Spain trying to break apart. There's a lot of countries that want sovereignty or independence. There's parts of China that want independence, like the Indo-China country, that part in northwest China, where its majority is Muslim living there. and they want to break apart from China. Um, Sindhu China, that area there, and then you have the Manchurian part of China, the north part of China that was once called Manchuria, and parts like that want to break apart from China. But I mean, that will never happen. China will never let that happen. But Spain, a democratic country, won't let a sovereign state give them independence. Why? So let's read this article. Let's see what they say. Paul Manson, normally inside journalism, speaks lacking in his latest piece on the regional self-determination. The common thread linking separatist movements in Catalonia. So they're naming it a separatist movement. Yeah, it's a separatist movement, but it should be referendum or a separatation. But okay, separatist movements in California. Labrori and Vento is the rich regions objecting to subsiding to poorer parts of the prospective countries. What's more, core message for the Brexiters is that we want our money back because people are fed up with subsidizing less prosperous parts of Europe. What we lack in this debate is any appreciation of the benefits of solidarity, which richer regions / countries working hard to help poorer areas to catch up. Instead, the mentality is one rich region pulling up the drawbridge to protect their wealth. And the greatest example of the post-war solidarity remains that Marshall's Plan. The US recognized that if it didn't invest in war-torn Europe, it would have nowhere to sell its products and would lose all political influence without it. There was a strong prospect of a string of failed states in Europe. Lots of comments coming here. Lots. So, Mr. Botto's here says EU is American run. EU is only there to buffer against Russia for the sake of the America. Exactly. So is Turkey. Don't forget Turkey. Now, it's just what you said right here in the comments just reflects exactly what it's saying here. So, it would have to know where to sell its products to and will lose all political influence. Without it, there would be a strong prospect of a string of failed states in Europe. So it's basically what the comments are saying here. The election, then somebody else is saying the election was fraud, loyalists were disenfranchised. Then someone else says it's like BC, Alberta, the Saskatchewan paying for Ontario socialism and debt, affirmative action. It's just dirty to steal someone else's prosperity. Honest elections must happen before anything happens. Then someone else comments, yeah, you were right about Turkey. Someone goes on and says the EU isn't a US puppet. And then, then some other things going on. And so let's look out here. Let's look here. So it is the right of determination was meant to counter external problems of imperial possession, not internal ones of secession. Secondly, like those famous Russian dolls, every majority has its own minority. And if exercised by the majority vote, the right could indeed lead to the breakup of numerous nations. Catalonia's independence movement, it's not just a problem for Spain. Simon Jenkins, The Guardian. Thirdly is Iraq, adjusting to the boundary lines that could leave Kirkuk and part of its predominantly Kurdish, Shia and Sunni constituency. The right, as written, is a recipe for conflict. Just like after World War I ended, they kind of mapped Europe and planting the seeds for the Second World War. This is definitely what's happening in Iraq, in the Kurdish area, and I just brought it up earlier in the conversation. It's a recipe for disaster, and it's ready to go. It's horrible. It's like India and Pakistan fighting for Kashmir. Anyways, binary referendums have been cause of tension in Quebec, violence in East Timor, havoc in the Balkans, and total mayhem in South Sudan. Furthermore, one poll may lead to another. In 2014, with the Shotlandian Scotland was used in Ukraine. But East Timor, Timor-Leste, I made a whole documentary about that. How Timor basically wanted to break away from Indonesia and wanted independence because they were being eth- uh, uh, religiously cleansed, ethically cleansed. They wanted to take out all the Catholics living there because Timor was a Portuguese colony for hundreds of years, and the Portuguese actually really helped the Timorans, let them be themselves, kind of let them live their culture and do their thing. But then after they gained independence, there was a mass problem with the Indonesians going in and invading with the support of Australians, backing the Indonesians to take over Timor, and then Timor was under the Indonesian rule. And what happened there was they were basically, Timor had oil, and the oil was going to Australia, and so the maritime boundaries were moved around a bit to support Australian oil investors, or whatever you want to call it. But that's what happened in East Timor. And there's a lot of really sad things that are happening around this world that can be solved by just common sense, rationality. Think rational. When someone says, "Oh yeah," if you're in a position, let's say you're in a position of power, you're in a position where you're getting a job, or you're in a position where you have to make a decision that's going to affect other lives. Think to yourself, is this rational? If you think, no, this is not rational, then don't do it. A lot of this stuff could be avoided if people were more rational and actually looked at both sides of the coin, instead of looking at the one coin, and that's the one in your pocket that you want to eventually keep taking. Lots of people coming in. The left is the same. The right, an illusion, Dems and Republicans. If anyone has an issue with Russia, in the West, it's liberals, not right wingers. So lots going on here in the conversation chat part here. Sorry guys, I got my door open just in case my kids start crying. And will we ever learn? In Resolution 47, the UN called for similar plebiscite in Kashmir. Okay, I was just talking about Kashmir. See, everything that I guess I did not read this earlier, but I was talking about Kashmir. And today, some of the campaigning for such a ballot in Taiwan and Hong Kong, despite the fact that if repeated in Xinjiang, it would almost certainly cause yet more bloodshed. We are underdesigned. Register our opposition to the Spanish government of Mariano Roya in implementing Article 155 of the Spanish Constitution following the Catalan Parliament's declaration of independence. The actions of the Spanish government is sending in civil guards and national police to smash their way into polling stations, to seize ballot boxes and attack voters in the effort to stop the 1st of October Catalan referendum. It's jailing of Jordi Sanchez and the president of Catalan National Assembly, ANC, and Jordi Curza. So let me see how old this article. This article should be new because it was just written, Sunday, October 29th. So it's a newer article. So they're backtracking in the article. Sorry, guys. So your report, October 26th, repeats yet again the claim as 770,000 votes were lost after Spanish police stepped in to try to halt the vote. During the referendum on 1st of October, this is misleading at best. The Catalan government says this is the number of potential voters in the places closed by the Spanish police. But not all Catalans wanted to participate in the referendum, and many of those who wanted to cast a ballot could have done so elsewhere. As Catalan President Carles Puigdemont did, that there were villages where the number of votes cast was more than double the official population, is testimony to this. Or perhaps it's testimony to something else. There was no official census, and nor were there any mechanisms controlling who voted or how many times. This was possible because the Catalan government, not the Spanish police, dissolved the electoral commission a few days before the referendum. As a result, all ballots were counted only by people in favor of the independence. This is why all supposed vote counts must be taken with a large grain of salt. So, I mean, don't people have? Yeah, because this is really deep. They're making this article's making it seem like the elections weren't fair. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the electrical polling system was taken down by the Spanish government. Of course, you're gonna have people having to go in and vote in person. You know, it's really sad what's happening. All these different countries, all these different, you know, I think the more divided or the more smaller countries are, the easier it is for it to be governed, in my opinion. I really don't know nothing when it comes to governing countries. I could see we could all see what's being done wrong. I mean, it's plain as day. It's happening right in front of us. We could all see what's not being done. Once again, it's plain as day right in front of us, but nothing is happening. And this whole Spanish thing, I think it's not over. I think this is going to go for a while. And the thing with Brexit, what happened to Brexit? What happened to Brexit? Could someone explain? I think they were supposed to be separated. Now it's going to take 100 years for them to get to gain independence. So that's that. Catalonia. Yeah, this was all unified and put together as one. And all these different parts of Catalonia. I mean, it is a very, very powerful region of Spain. I could see why Spain does not want to lose Catalonia. It's like, what if the United States lost the state of New York? Okay? And the state of New York's GDP is probably humongous compared to some European countries, right? I was going to say, what if the United States lost the state of California? I think a lot of people wouldn't care. But I think we're using New York as an example. Because if I say California, a lot of people would just say, so what? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so people are commenting, Bitcoin will free the world because we are in the hands of the banks. Most people are in the hands of the banks. And then it says here, Catalan wants to be a communist state. Their allies are Iran and Venezuela. Should tell you something. And then someone else is commenting, man, you need to get your facts straight. I'm not sure if that's me that needs to get his facts straight, and that's why we have a call-in number here, just in case you want to call in and add your 2 cents to what's going on. I'm more appreciated to take your calls. Let's continue here. Yeah, Venezuela's in a lot of trouble, people. On the financial side of Venezuela right now, I was on it was like 2 weeks ago now, I was on the Caracas News through Skype, via Skype, talking to the Caracas News casters there, live, discussing what's happening with the financing the financing that's happening in Venezuela, and just the over rampant starvation and just the I don't know if you want to call it I don't know the best way to put it. It's crumbling, and it's crumbling at the seams. It's taking it to a new level, and people are seeing firsthand what will happen if a country basically starts. There's a lot of things Venezuela did wrong. They put all their eggs in one basket and invested in oil. The president right now is doing what he can to get things straightened out. Venezuela also changed their petrodollar from the U.S. dollar to the Chinese dollar, whatever, the Rwandi, whatever you call it. And I'm just looking at the comment section here, and I'm not liking what's happening right now in Venezuela. I was talking to one of the ladies there, and one of the reporters there, and I was just talking about how basically transparency is the key, honesty is the key, Rationality is the key. Venezuela needs to come to grips. People need to come to an understanding with everything. There needs to be some sort of, I don't like to say foreign intervention, but sometimes there need to be a peaceful foreign intervention, but the way things are headed, it's all war on every angle, and I wish there was some sort of a way to piece it together, you know what I'm saying? Like some sort of peacekeeping mission, a proper one, where it's fully transparent, and you know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure if people are talking about me here. Here they're saying you should really research more about the topic before saying these silly things. So I'm not sure if it's me that's talking about, if what I'm talking about here doesn't make any sense. But Venezuela's far past. It's got just chaos. Oh, somebody's calling in. 778. Where's this from? Hello, you're live. Hello? Oh, somebody hung up on me. Hello, you there? Oh, somebody hung up on me. Somebody called and hung up. Try again. Oh, it's calling again. It's a 778 number. Let's see. Hello? Hello, you're live.
Hey, hi, sorry there.
Yeah, I'm right here. How you doing?
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. You can lower your computer in the background, just so it doesn't conflict with us talking here.
Good. I just want to say I got some friends.
Hello?
Who,
Hello, you're breaking up there.
it's so bad to the point where if she parks her car in a street, she's going to lose the wheels or part of her car, or the whole car is going to be gone.
Okay, so start from the beginning. What happened with your friend's car? You cut off really bad there. Start again. Your friend has a car, and where is she?
She's in Caracas.
Oh, in Caracas. Okay, yes. Yeah, I don't know if you heard, people are eating zoo animals there. People have been breaking into zoos and actually eating the animals in the zoo. Hello? Are you there?
Yeah, so she's in Caracas. So basically, if she doesn't park in a private parking, the car disappears.
Wow, that's so bad. What is she doing there? What does she do for work?
She works in IT.
Hello?
Yeah, she works in IT. Like it's a bad situation.
Well, I have some reports on the ground there from some people that I actually know that live there, and they're telling me that there's daily protests, there's people lining outside of supermarkets, there's just huge utter unrest. Civil unrest is just out of control there. What does she think? What do you think is a good idea for Venezuela? How could it fix this problem?
The ship has sailed. I don't know. That's
I think, to be honest with you, Venezuela needs some sort of foreign intervention. I think someone needs to go in there and fix the problem. I don't think Venezuela is beyond. I think Venezuela is beyond repair on its own. I don't know, because the chaos that's coming out of that country is phenomenal.
It's very dangerous. I mean, we went on vacation in 2014. Never as bad as today, and now even on Margarita Island, like a touristy island in Venezuela, there's nobody.
Yeah, Margarita Island, they kept it very exclusive, and they didn't let a lot of local people live on that island to keep it exclusive for tourists. And then now it's becoming an island where you can't even go to.
Very sad.
It's very sad. I really hope that they could find some sort of I don't know, man. Like the situation they're in, right? Like I don't know if anybody is going to go in there and help. The only country I could see going in right now to help is China. I know. China. The only country I could see going in and helping Venezuela right now is China. That's it. That's my opinion, because China has already given them a lot of money in the last 2 months, and they've signed a lot of oil deals with them in the last 2 months. And China has been building roads in Venezuela and highways in Venezuela in the last 5 years. So that's the only, yeah.
I just hope everything gets better for the people, because these are great people, and it's very sad. So.
Beautiful people, beautiful people. Last time I was in Venezuela, I think it was in 2004. And it's just a fantastic. It was organized. Things weren't safe. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was kind of.
Oh yeah, of course.
Waiting at a bus stop sometimes. I would never wait at some of those bus stops. I would never wait. A lot of the areas and streets and stuff. I would be very. I wouldn't go into some of those areas that I saw them with a friend of mine. We drove through and saw different places. There was instances that we had where if we were at a red light and someone hit us from behind, we wouldn't get out of the car. We'd keep driving.
Oh, of course. Anyway, that's my bit. You have a great show, and keep going.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Have a good night. Thank you.
You.
Bye. Anyways, another caller calling in about worried about Venezuela. Hey, you know what? I'm worried about Venezuela too. So this is what's the problem here. The country's state-run oil company, PDVSA, on Friday paid roughly $900 million to bondholders, but still owes $350 million more that was due earlier this month. So there's only two things that could save Venezuela. One, the price of oil skyrockets and goes up. Or two, some sort of intervention comes in and somebody comes in and helps. Or somebody comes in and makes the difference. Or somebody comes in and hopefully protects the country's interests, its people, right? So let's continue here. Oops. There's some state-run news there by let's see what this says. Venezuela's dreams are dying. The tragic impact of a country's collapse. We met on an overcast July date at Children's Hospital in Caracas, Venezuela, the capital. He didn't say a word when I curled around the door on the dimly lit fourth floor. His big brown eyes just stared at me. I froze and I tried to hold it back. Devious skin splitting open and swollen face in his body. Oh, yeah, I know what this is. It's about that child that needs dialysis help. And he's in Venezuela, and it's really bad. He can't get in fresh water, new filters. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. What do we got here? Let's take a look at the prototypes of Mexican border wall unveiled in California. So this is Trump's border wall. He's got a few different walls to choose from. He's got a lot of different companies bidding for this job because it's a multi-billion-dollar job, and a lot of people want this job. This could create food on people's tables for the next 10 years. So, anyways, call in if you want, please. If you want to add what's you want to add to this, you want to talk about something else, or you want to talk about what's on your mind, please don't hesitate to call 1-250-800-1489. Coming to you live from Merritt, British Columbia. Today is October 31st. Happy Halloween to people watching overseas. And it is a fantastic Halloween. I hope everyone has a very safe and happy Halloween. So let's continue here. I kind of wanted to talk about this for a good while now. And the main question people need to know or ask is, does the Mexico-U.S. border need a wall? That's the main question. That is the question no one's ever asked. Everybody is talking about, yes, let's put up a wall, and other people are saying, no, why are you putting up a wall for? We are open nation, open borders, whatever, right? And it looks like I'm going offline, people. It's continuing. Yeah, I've got bad stream health tonight. I don't know what's going on with my I don't know what's going on with my internet, people. It's not good. Internet's up and down today. I hope this doesn't go down. Please don't go down. So anyways, what do you guys think of this wall? I really want to know what you guys think of this wall. This wall is pretty much, if you take a good look at it, there's a lot of different walls going up. A lot of different wall ideas. There's that one. There's that one. There's that one. That one. That one. That one. They're all walls. But the main question no one's asking the main question. Does the US and Mexico really need a wall? Could they put this money to use and maybe create more jobs? You know, it's all, you know, it's, what do you guys think? I mean, you know, I want to know what you guys think, you know, about this. Anyways, I got the comment section full of Bitcoin. Let's look up something on Bitcoin. All right, let's look up Bitcoin. Everyone's talking about Bitcoin. If you don't know what Bitcoin is, let's look up news. Everybody's talking about Bitcoin there we go. Bitcoin just reached an new all-time high. So if you're new to understanding what is Bitcoin, and well, let's talk about this. For people that don't know, Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency, and it's designed to cut out the middleman, so there's no banking in between, and the transactions are clean. And let's start this off. Let's kick this off. There's a lot. Everyone's talking about Bitcoin. So somebody commented here, does Canada and US need a wall? Of course they don't. You know, Canada and US don't need a wall. And that probably answers the question, does the US and Mexico need a wall? Would that solve America's problem? You know what I'm saying? Okay, so everybody's commenting on Bitcoin. So what's Bitcoin? Why is everyone in the comment section talking about Bitcoin? The value of Bitcoin cryptocurrency has hit all-time high on Sunday, reaching $6,306 before settling down somewhere around $6,170 at the time of writing on Monday morning. Bitcoin's previous record came around 9 days previously when it cleared 6,000. However, after that, it fell as low as 5,374 before evening out, then climbing up to a new high on Sunday. As is often the case, it is very difficult to definitely explain Bitcoin's current trajectory. Some attribute its recent dip to the recent creation of the new Bitcoin Gold offshoot. As anyone holding Bitcoin on the date of fork would get the same amount of Bitcoin Gold for free, it's possible that people loaded up on Bitcoin ahead of the fork and then offloaded it after it took place. That's probably why it dropped it, right? There hasn't been any big news about Bitcoin in the last few days apart from the new wrote warnings over the market's bubble-like nature, the most recent coming from the Warren Buffett. A few days before that, Saudi Prince Awad bin Talal compared to virtual currency to the bankrupt energy business Enron. Whatever the reason for Bitcoin's current perkiness, it's not only cryptocurrency to have a good couple of days. Bitcoin Cash, which is forked off the main Bitcoin blockchain in August, shot up more than 20% on Sunday. And either the virtual coin used to Ethereum network cleared the $300 value mark. Ethereum has the market cap of $29.5 billion, while Bitcoin's market cap is $102.6 billion, and Bitcoin Cash market cap is $7.8 billion. So I don't know who invests in Bitcoin. I actually know quite a few people that invest in Bitcoin. I know a lot of people. A lot of people are probably saying. I know. Actually, I'm gonna be really frank with you. I know of a lot of people that had Bitcoin and sold it for $2 and $3 a Bitcoin back in the day when they were mining them on their computers. And I have a friend of mine, a personal friend of mine, that had his computer stolen. And this was many years ago when Bitcoin was like $3 a coin, right? He got his computer stolen and he had like 2,800 Bitcoins on there. And this was before the electronic wallet and before ways of properly, taking care of their stuff, Anyways, someone's commenting here. I find it kind of funny for someone who complains about his children to be outpriced in the housing by foreigners is so pro-Mexico flooding into the USA. But I guess we could be unbiased. We can't all be unbiased. No, it's not that Mexico's flooding into the US and stuff. America has laws. Immigration laws, right? You know what I'm saying? All they have to do is just stiffen their immigration laws. You don't have to put up a wall. Make sure that instead of making the people or the illegals to blame, why don't they make the employer to blame and fine the employer? Obviously, they have the money. Then this way, the employer is forced to hiring legal people. People don't get it. You don't need a wall because if you're an illegal alien, then you're there illegally. Doesn't that make any sense? You're illegal. You don't need a wall to it's still gonna have, you're still gonna have illegal aliens because they're illegal. So people need to understand that. Like, it's very, very important that people understand that. It's the employers need to be taken accountable. Okay, so this is happening right now in the comments section. People need to be accountable. Employers. This way, they don't hire illegal. It's like, it's illegal to sell drugs. It's illegal to drive on the left side of the road. It is illegal to fish when you can't fish. It is illegal to go barefoot in the mall. It is, you know what I'm saying? It is illegal to kill somebody. Same thing. An illegal alien. You know what I'm saying? It's somebody illegally in the country that's undocumented, that they don't know where they're coming from. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to bash the Mexicans. I love the Mexicans. I've been in Mexico. I lived in Mexico for 2 years. It's not that. Is that illegal? Plain and simple. No wall. Toughen employers. Fine employers. Problem solved. I think that will eradicate 80%. I think that will fix a lot of the problems. Anyways, let's continue here. So let's go on to some other news that I was talking about here. Just a couple other things. Now, they're banning... Okay, one thing I wanted to bring up, actually. World War I cross. What do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of this? They want to take down... Liberals demand offensive World War I memorial to be torn down. I actually had to really calm myself down when I saw that. I don't know how this cross is offensive, because a lot of people aren't looking at things in a historical lens. Everyone's seeing today what that is, and today, right now, no one's looking at anything in a historical lens anymore, and it's very sad. I am very saddened that this is happening. Take down the World War I Memorial Cross. If somebody actually was told this 20 years ago, I think they would actually be called a liar. If you went up to somebody 20 years ago that was standing taking a photo at that cross on vacation with their family, and he was telling you, for example, my grandfather fought in that World War, my great-grandfather was in World War I, and this cross means a lot to me and my family, and we come to visit it and pay our respects, blah, 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 right? If you told that person 20 years ago that they wanted to tear it down because it's offensive, no one would believe you. But today, everything is believable, and I don't know why this is happening. Peace Cross Veterans Memorial must be torn down under U.S. Appeals Court. I was actually speechless. I couldn't fathom it. Why aren't people looking at things through a historical lens anymore? Why don't they realize or understand that cross is why we won the war? Why don't people understand that cross is what our soldiers, the burdens the soldiers were carrying on them when they fought to give us the freedom we have today? And then someone's commenting here, Brian White's commenting and saying, this makes me want to say we should have never fought these wars because this is what we get. And you know what? The U.S. wasn't supposed to get into that war because President Woodrow Wilson's platform when he was running for president was, we want none of Europe's problems. We have our own problems in the United States, and we want nothing to do with Europe, right? And until the sinking of the Lusitania, and then rallied the U.S. people, and basically the U.S. got into the war, and 8 months later the war ended after the U.S. entered. I think it was 8 months or 10 months. I can't even remember. But let's read this. Okay, let's do this. Peace Cross Veterans Memorial must be torn down, orders U.S. Appeals Court. Richmond, Virginia, October 23rd, 2017. A U.S. Appeals Court has ordered the removal of a 1925 memorial honoring the dead from World War I because it is in the shape of a cross. The U.S. Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals decided last week that the Veterans Monument, after holding a place of honor in the community for more than 90 years, is unconstitutional. I don't know why this is happening, but doesn't state and religion, aren't they supposed to be separate? Aren't they supposed to be deemed separate? Isn't state have to stay 100 yards away from the Constitution at all times? There's no mixing. I'm just putting that out there. I don't know. Set on a major thoroughfare just outside Washington, District of Columbia, the monument does not depict, quote, or even mention Jesus. It is merely its shape that the Hamastians find offensive, the Baltimore Sun humanistans find offensive, the Baltimore Sun explained. The court overruled a lower district court that explained the monument's purpose not primarily religious, and so it is constitutional. And if it is religious, what's the problem? It's like a church. Or it's like any other structure. Why? The smart thing to do to fix this is if someone buys that land and then makes it private property and then continues the way it goes. The court overruled the lower district explaining the monument's purpose not primarily as religion, and it is constitutional. Today's decision sets dangerous precedent by completely ignoring history, and it threatens removal and destruction of veteran memorials across America, First Liberty Institute's Hiram Sasser said. The historic 40-foot peace cross erected by the American Legion on July 13, 1925, to honor Baldersburg 49 fallen World War I soldiers stood for 92 years as a gathering for place of community, Memorial Day, and Veterans Day commemorations. The Fourth Circuit, represented by the by 3-judge panel, determines the memorial exclusively entangles the government in religion and breaches the separation of church and state. That's pretty bad, people. Chief Justice Gregory Dissident. Though this memorial stands in witness to the valor, endurance, courage, and devotion, emphasizes in the original, of the 49 residents of Prince George's County, Maryland, who lost their lives in the Great War for the liberty of the world, he wrote separately, I cannot agree that a monument so convinced and dedicated and that bears such witness violates the letter of spirit of our very Constitution these heroes died to defend. I see a lot of angry people commenting in the chat section there. This memorial has stood for local veterans for almost 100 years, and it's lawful under the First Amendment, Jones Day attorney Michael Carvin argued. To remove it would be tremendous dishonor to the local men who gave their lives during the Great War. So, it's a really long article, but I want to know what you guys think, because this whole living in equality type thing, or people being sensitive, because in my opinion, if somebody finds or is upset about something, or if somebody feels that they're being dishonored or something, it doesn't mean that they're right. If they feel offended. Someone feels offended, it doesn't mean they're right either. You know what I'm saying? So it's a really, 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 really touchy situation. And people are commenting on this, saying that religion is based off fairy tales, religion is silly. Well, it's not religion. We're not talking about religion here. We're talking about the Veterans Cross. Okay? A lot of these soldiers in the trenches fighting these wars, they had nothing but faith on their side. They had nothing but religion, God, Jesus with them. A lot of them prayed and begged that they'd live another day to hopefully come and to go home and see their families. People are forgetting. People are not looking at things through a historic lens anymore. And it's gentrifying. It's destroying the human fabric. Everything that we've constructed, everything that we've worked hard to accomplish, everything that we've worked as a civilization to build is coming apart at the seams. And people are forgetting, feelings and stuff. Okay, everybody has, I've been bullied, I've been beat up, I've been everything. You know what I'm saying? But I don't carry that around. I make myself a better person. Oh, I'm going to be good in life. They're going to wish they never picked on me type of thing. I'm going to be a great guy one day and they're going to wish they were in my shoes. You know what I'm trying to say? Like I don't know. I don't know why everybody is all of a sudden wimping out on everything, being offended from everything. It makes no sense. And that's why you're going to have these countries want to break apart from each other. And the separatists will always win. That's why Donald Trump won. Can I tell you guys why Donald Trump won? Because Donald Trump was an outsider. He wasn't part of the deep state. He was an outsider. And they did everything to make him lose the election. They threw everything at him. Russia, sexual charges that weren't even real. Just making up whatever they can to make sure he did not win. And he was definitely an outsider. And it's very important that people understand that. so people understand what's happening and why it's happening. It's really tough, you know? Everybody needs to bro up, strong up, man up, walk it off. You know, walk it off. You know, people are scared to say a black man, a white man, and a Chinese man walks into a bar. Like, everyone is like, whoa, what are you talking about? It's like, dude, I didn't mean anything by it. I really didn't mean anything by it. I'm just, you know, having a good time, having a few laughs, just, you know, but everybody is so into correctness, verbs, using specific nouns. Why? You know, I don't know. I think we're coming apart at the seams. I think humanity is coming apart. You know, we got left, we got right, we got this, we got that, we got neo, we got that. What is it? Fascism, we have all kinds. And the more we want to divide from each other, the more they win. The more the people up top that are pushing the buttons or controlling things are winning. Basically, they've won. Because it's just out of control. Anyways, guys, I don't know what you guys think. I'm going to be live on Wednesday for Trends in the Housing Market. That's my real show. I got this going on, Rants and Lifestyle. Hopefully it'll pick up. I was hoping more people would call in because it's good for people call into the show and talk about what they have on their chest or what they're feeling, or, you know, how they're feeling, or what they've been up to, or what they think we could do to make this world a better place, what we could do. Because I think if you just go off rationality, just be rational, I think that wins 50% of your decisions that you're going to make. Especially if you're making decisions that affect other people's lives. Maybe taking a step back and think to yourself, is this a rational decision? No, it doesn't seem rational. Then don't do it! Anyways, guys, I've been here for an hour. I'm signing off. I'm tired. I'm going to go spend some time with my family. Call in. I'll try my best to be live next Monday. Don't forget to watch my Living the Dream series, guys. And comments are much needed below. I wasn't too organized in the show. I promise next show I'll be a bit more organized. I have my stories more organized, better. And if you want to call in, please call in. Don't be shy. It means a lot to me, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think. I'll be on next Monday. Maybe you guys could send me some links to articles I could read on this show. Housing articles are out of control. Tons of people sending me emails. Oh, man, do I have some good stories for you guys for this Wednesday for trends in the housing market. Anyways, big hug to everyone. Stay safe. Good night. And God bless.